Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. I am Matt. Today's video will be going over the evolution and history of Farming Simulator. This will be starting from the first installment in the series, which is Farming Simulator 2008, all the way to Farming Simulator 20. So sit back, relax and enjoy the video. If you are looking to play Farming Simulator, then go down to my sponsor DL Gamer, link in the description, and get the game for the lowest price now. The first installment of the Farming Simulator series was Farming Simulator 2008. This was a very minimal game. The only crop it had was wheat, and the only licensed brand it had was Fendt. Compared to the newer games, there was very little content in it and not much to do. Farming Simulator 2009 came 1 year later as the second installment in the series. The game had improved so much more since the last year. It included 3 new crops, which were corn, canola and barley. Modding support was enabled, which allowed you to get community created mods that you could play with in the game. FS 2009 also had way more machinery than FS 2008 did, and it also had the same map, yet it was remastered. These were just some of the new features that Farming Simulator 2009 featured. Moving on to the third installment of Farming Simulator, we have Farming Simulator 2011. This was much more improved compared to the previous versions, and it was the first one to include multiplayer. This game came with a new map. It also included 3 new brands, which were Deutz-Fahr, Horsch and Pottinger. Along with them came a new animal, which was cows. The next game in the franchise was Farming Simulator 2012. This was a mobile game that featured on Nintendo 3DS, iOS devices and Android devices. The game supported 3D graphics which you could play with on the Nintendo 3DS. There were very few additions to this game, however it was the first time we got Farming Simulator on mobile. The next game in the franchise was Farming Simulator 2013. The initial release for Farming Simulator 2013 was on October 25th, 2012. The game was fairly similar to Farming Simulator 2011, however almost a year later they launched Farming Simulator 13 Titanium Edition. It was the same game, however it contained a US based environment which was called Westbridge Hills and new vehicles. New content was also released as a DLC add-on for those with the original version of the game. The sixth game in the franchise was Farming Simulator 2014. This was released on iOS, Android and Nintendo 3DS, as well as Windows phones and PlayStation Vita. It was released on November 18, 2013. It gave a more polished and more casual gaming experience on mobile platforms than its predecessors. There are over 20 brands in this game. The next and most popular edition of the Farming Simulator franchise was Farming Simulator 2015. It was released to Windows and Mac, as well as Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. For the first ever time, this included forestry, washable vehicles and 41 brands. Around 140 pieces of equipment were in this game, and 160 in the Gold Edition DLC pack. This game went down a storm and was one of the most popular games of 2014 and 2015. Next we have a pretty standard mobile game which was Farming Simulator 2016. It was released on iOS, Android and Windows Phone devices as well as PlayStation Vita on May 8th, 2015. It didn't feature many brands, however it was very cool to have a more polished game on mobile devices. Next in the franchise came Farming Simulator 17. This was the biggest game released to date and it came back with the debut of Vent, and also Massey Ferguson, Challenger and Voltra. For the first time in the base game, soybeans, sunflowers and oilseed radishes were introduced as growable crops. In past games, the player would have to download this as a modification. The game's key mechanics had been altered, including the crop growing mechanic, which had been altered to allow different ways to increase crop yield. These included fertilizing the fields multiple times throughout the growth stages, plowing the field to reset the amount of harvest you could do, de-weeding the crops, or using oilseed radish as a cover crop. The mission system were also updated, allowing the player to do work for other in-game farmers. Other additions include drivable trains, as well as an in-game radio. On November 14, 2017, a new expansion pack was released on all platforms. This added a new map, the growth of sugarcane, and new vehicles and tools. This game was also called Platinum Expansion Pack and is free with the Season Pass, which is also available for all platforms. Next we have Farm Simulator Nintendo Switch Edition. 2017 saw the launch of Nintendo Switch, so Farm Simulator capitalized on that, bringing out Farm Simulator 17 for Nintendo Switch. It used the same engine, maps, vehicles, etc. No DLC has been released for this title. Next on the list is Farm Simulator 18. The game was announced for release on the Nintendo 3DS, iOS, Android and PlayStation Vita. It was released on June 6, 2017 and was widely based on the Farm Simulator 17 and included all the new features of the game and some new features. This game received over 500,000 downloads and is still growing to this day. Moving on to the most recent in the franchise is Farm Simulator 19. This was released on November 20th, 2018. Some key new features include a redesigned graphics engine to improve graphics, as well as addition of horse farming, as well as oat and cotton crop. The game also featured John Deere machinery, as well for the first time Komatsu, Raw, Wilson trailer and even more. Also featuring the brand new John Deere Cotton DLC, which was released on July 20th, 2019, which as this video is being recorded was only a few months ago. And last but not least, we have Farm Simulator 20. Farm Simulator 20 will be released on December the 3rd, 2019 on Nintendo Switch and Android and iOS. This is a mobile game that is highly anticipated and based on Farm Simulator 19. This is the first time a mobile game in the Farm Simulator franchise will include John Deere as well as many new features. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, then hit that like button and subscribe. Turn notifications on so you don't miss any Farming Simulator news or videos. If you want to help support the channel more, you can become a member of Team Matt. Press the join button for more information. Thank you guys so much for watching and making it to the end. Yeah, I hope everyone has a lovely day. See everybody next time. Bye.